Morning. I'm a little behind schedule here. Sorry about that, but I had some technical issues. My camera, I couldn't get it to hook up right. But anyway, that's all fixed. So this week, I am actually bringing in a new topic. So I've been talking a lot about plant-based medicine, and I'm not stopping that. In fact, I'm going to be adding in other plants like herbs because I'm learning a little bit about herbal medicine. So um, very, very interesting topic. Very interesting. But what I want to talk to you today about is sound wave technology. So why? Well, because I have a new tool in my toolbox of helping me with my own health and wellness issues. So I just recently had a high blood pressure issue happen, and I went to my provider, and she wanted to give me medication. And, I know that pharmaceuticals have their place. I get it. I've been doing this for 19 years. I've prescribed thousands of prescriptions. I know they have their place. But the more that I look at other, more natural options, the more I understand that we can actually integrate herbs and sound waves and cannabis and CBD and essential oils. We can integrate all of those into our daily life, not to just address certain health issues, but to just keep us healthy in general. I mean, we get one body. This is it. This is all we get until we go to the other side and we're on those streets of gold that the Lord has promised us that we will eventually see when we pass from this earth. So, sound wave technology. So, I like to learn about the history of things. I don't know a lot about this right now. I'm just learning myself. But through history, I mean, if you know anything at all about music, which, I love music and I like to sing music, but back all year, I mean, way back, people have had music of some sort. They've made their homemade instruments, they've used rocks and sticks, they've used, like bowls and just all kinds of things to make music. And there's a reason for that because there's a positive effect that happens when we listen to music, and that is vibration and sound frequencies. So this was kind of cool. They discovered in the 18th century that people experienced positive health effects from riding in a carriage. The carriage, goes down cobblestone streets, and there's this rhythmic, you hear the sound of the horse's hooves hitting the cobblestone. The carriage itself is bouncing and moving, and if it's at a steady pace, there's this steady rhythmic thing that happens. And so they started seeing that people were getting positive effects from this, like less depression, just riding in the carriage to go to town. So this led to the discovery and the development of mechanical chairs. So patients would see a doctor, they'd be treated with this vibrating chair, and health issues like depression and liver disease responded in a very positive way. And then moving on further, like this is like all around the 18th century that this happened. So further inventions resulted in using vibrating tools like a tuning fork that emitted this sound frequency, and they were found to help conditions like Parkinson's and ataxia. So ataxia is like the inability to make a smooth movement. Ataxia would be like if I went like this. You can't see my hand. If I went try to reach out for something, that would be ataxia. So if I was trying to pick up my phone, but I couldn't because my motor function is impaired, so it would be just hard to pick up my phone. That's ataxia. So they did these vibrating tools with the tuning fork. It emitted these sound frequencies, and they were found to help conditions like Parkinson's and ataxia. So later on, somebody made this metal helmet, had a motor on top of it that vibrated at 10 hertz. This helped people with insomnia, migraines, and depression. And you can find all this information. I'm getting this from a PubMed article called Positive Mechanisms for the Effects of Sound Vibration on Human Health. So later on, music therapy became an entity. So, like 75 years ago, they decided, wow, we could probably use music as therapy. And so today it's a thing. You can get your certification, you can become a licensed musical therapist. It's often used with children that have trouble with focusing. They have ADHD, or maybe they're autistic, or maybe they have a severe form of cerebral palsy or something like that. Music therapy helps them with their cognition, with their motor skills, and all that. So I know personally, if I have certain songs that if I hear them, they evoke different emotions. So, some worship songs are just, they evoke that spirit of worship. I just want to worship Jesus. There are songs from my past that when I was in high school, I listened to a lot of music, like Jethro Tull. Stairway to Heaven was like one of my favorite songs. There are so many songs that when you hear them, you are going to respond in some way, shape, or form. It's going to be through body movement, it's going to be through softening of the heart, it's going to be through clarity of your thinking. So, the idea is that when we hear music, we hear notes, and notes have sound waves, and the sound waves are actually what is ministering to our bodies at the time. So I've also mentioned, you all know, I really struggle with all the hormonal crap that goes with menopause. Excuse my terminology, but it is hot flashes, insomnia. Now I've gotten a lot of solutions. A lot of things have happened and developed in my life, especially over the last year and a half or so. And I've discovered ways to deal with these issues. But I have this app on my iPad, and I listen to that if I'm struggling. So if I wake up in the middle of the night, I've heard it termed the monkey brain. The monkey brain's going, it won't stop. I get stuck on a sound in my head, a song, a phrase, something like that, and I can't turn it off. I'll get up and get my iPad, and it has this sleep melodies app. And I'll turn on something that if I were to actually be hearing it, it would make me go to sleep or relax. And that sound for me is rain or a bubbling brook or something like that. So I'll turn that on. I'll focus on that sound, also praying usually during this time. And next thing you know, I'm back to sleep again. So as we are living beings, now this may sound a little weird. Don't don't um, don't shoot the messenger just yet. But as living beings, our organs all have songs that we emit. So each organ has its own um, tone, its own sound wave, its own frequency. And so when you hear a song that you love, your body absorbs that sound wave of that song, and you feel better, even though you probably don't really say, "Oh, I feel better." So more to come on this topic this week. I have a little something I want to share with you before the end of the week. So stay tuned. Please ask questions, comment. If you would like a health and wellness coach that focuses on using plant-based medicine in the form of essential oils or cannabis or CBD, or now sound wave therapy, then let me know. You can reach out to me through this Facebook group, send me a personal message, or you can go to my website. It's www.cannabisremedy.org, and you can sign up for an appointment there. So that's that for today. Have a great rest of your day.